Hello everyone. So today I have a quick little speed through design for a couple of rooms, and then I have a little design of a new room I'm starting. So let's just go through it. Right now I'm working on my Little Mermaid Ride room, and what I'm doing is just kind of going through and seeing what I can add. I have certain aspects of the room I want to work on, in particular the Ursula section and back. I've added a lot of different things, including those Halloween tunnels that I thought kind of looked like caves that the eels could come out of. And now I'm just trying to really define it and keep it separate from the rest of the room, because I feel like this is a really important aspect of the ride that I'm making. So I'm experimenting with a lot of different backgrounds and things I can have on it. So I was thinking about that Stegosaurus thing. I'm thinking about any sort of stone object, because it's a very rocky look in the movie that I'm basing it off of. So I felt pretty good about using this. This was a prize on the Vacation Island wheel a while back, and I felt this was actually kind of the best option I had, and maybe pairing it with some of those vacation shop items. But basically those stone, sort of obviously they're supposed to be something in the game, but just using it as stony sides, I felt was a good use. So I'm playing around with a lot of different things. I think I really hit my stride with those freaky forest stones. I think that just fit in the best. So I just kind of replaced the other things, and then it started to look like a real rocky background. So another thing I was thinking of using was this smoke machine, because I thought it would just go off kind of on its own and it would be a really cool effect. However, it only goes off when you do something to it, and I really could not get the effect to work otherwise, nor be able to access it back there. So just kind of felt like a waste. So I played around with it a lot, but I ended up being okay, this isn't going to work. I was thinking of some shells, but ended up just kind of putting that back there. I felt pretty good about the Ariel under the sea portion on the left. That felt the best, but I think it's helpful to have different heights and textures and widths to really add a lot of dimension to it, and I felt like it wasn't exactly there on that, so I just had some moments to play around a bit more with it. I then decided to start working on the little kiss the girl scene, which I do not feel good about. I tried making it a little bit smaller, I guess, and have the scene kind of end closer off the track so I could do something in front of it, and I think it worked okay. I'm still not feeling great about it. Still some work to be done. I think I need a specific ship item to really make it look the way I want. So that's definitely on the agenda. I feel pretty good about the Ursula thing, just looking at it. I think it could use maybe a bit more stone pathways, but I felt good about that. I love the little seashell racers for the car. If you're familiar with the Little Mermaid car, it looks like that. Then I did some quick additions here to, this is my Percy Jackson Aunty M's Gnome Emporium little room. I just like adding little stone statues whenever I get them to really add to the effect of the room. So I had traded for a new stone bust, and I thought that would fill in some spots really nicely. I also am always just thinking about how to, change around items. It's one of my favorite things to do, but yeah, so I just placed that in there, and then, I was thinking about adding some like little spooky things, but I think I need to stick with the stone theme, to be frank. Like, it just never works out the way I want it to. So I was also thinking like, oh, like a spooky little like cooler. Wasn't vibing with it, but I had like one thought was to just put in the ketchup bottles to just make it look more like a little diner with, they always have the ketchup bottles left. A big tip in Webkinz is always rotate your items. It looks so bad when they're all look the exact same back to back, so if you can rotate it, I highly recommend it. So, okay, now we are going to move to working on a new room. Very exciting. And here I was just kind of thinking, where should I put it? But let's start off. So, my inspo for this room was the time travel island room from Poptropica. I think that's such a fun island to play, and I thought it would be fun with these little time travel clocks. That is a retired exclusive item. So right now I'm going through the typical process of just picking out items that I think could remotely work for this room. I will say that a lot of times with these like quote unquote like creative room ideas, I do not like rewatch the piece of media until I go for like my second round of revisions on the room, if that makes sense. So I just kind of go off memory and like vibe. So here I'm like, I swear there's like a aspect of Time Travel Island where they're like assembling the Eiffel Tower maybe, and then I also felt there was like a maybe building the Great Wall of China. I thought there might be like, I don't know, like hiking a mountain, an inventor's room, and then like a super high-tech future room. So that's what I was thinking about. That's what I'm just trying to see what items I have in my dock that would fill it. This is what I always do. I always just put like, I keep it really broad and just try out different things. And then I move to like walls and floors and just try and find a good one. I will say, I think this particular design is very, very rough. Like, I don't think I'll feel like super inspired to go back to it until I do replay the island and really get good inspo, because I was just struggling how to put it all together and how to frame it. I didn't want it to look like I was using the same exact like like layout as the room you guys just saw. I think it's like just like not super fun and creative to just do the same thing and kind of make it look different. I like doing something different. I also frankly ran out of Kins Cash, as one does, so but yeah, I was starting to like really experiment with different items like turned around to use as like walls and floors, and I just realized like I didn't really have a vision and I didn't have any ideas beyond like the basic room and some general like thoughts of what it might look like. And I just realized that was kind of a waste of time and Kins Cash to do so. So I just did some like experimenting this time around and, had fun with it, but with the intention that I will need to have like a little bit better of an eye for this sort of stuff. So this is just really playing around really rough. And I ended up kind of deciding to go for like a high tech, having that represented in here. I don't know if that'll stay. I just started feeling like I didn't really have many items that like would work for this. So that's what I just started like playing around with, but I don't feel attached to it at all. I thought there were just some clever items that I felt inspired to use, like using the trophy case as like a wall and windows, but again, I didn't feel inspired to really like finish it, and I didn't feel it turned out great. So this was very rough. This is just kind of fun. I just wanted to do like this is kind of my favorite thing to do in Webkinz, is just take the time and really work through different room ideas and design things and you know, slow and steady assemble items for it. So this is a super rough iteration. You've seen other rough iterations and you see how I come back to it. So this is just the beginning. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed and I will see you next time. Bye bye.